not about Montreal '97, but about '96 when you came back on that Raw before you were going to work with Steve Austin, and they did this weird thing where they had Vince on camera, like acting as if he was finding out on air that you were re-signing with the company.
The truth is, I had just signed my contract maybe a half hour before in his office, in the dressing room or in the back area, and no one knew whether I was going to sign until then. I had my lawyers and everybody involved. It was quite a technical sort of moment. But I think he was just trying to play it like that. In those days, Vince didn't really even play up that he was the owner of the promotion. He was more so the announcer on the show. A lot of people didn't know Vince was the genius behind the whole thing. But I think with Vince, it was a big moment. I mean, I would have thought, or hoped anyway, the whole thing happened with my dealings with WCW was that I never wanted to go to WCW. I never had much faith in them as a wrestling company. I didn't know that I'd never worked for them. But Owen came back and told me it was a nightmare. Steve Austin told me it was the most disorganized bunch of clueless idiots that, everyone that left there was like, oh, don't ever go there. They're dumb as and, so when I worked with Sean at the Iron Man match and dropped the title to him, they forgot all about me. Like, they didn't care about me. Like, it was the Shawn Michaels show now. They moved me out of position. And I went home and my contract rolled over. Like, according to my contract, anytime I didn't work for 4 weeks, I was free and clear to negotiate whatever I was. And so the way it was worded in my contract, I was free. I remember kind of waiting. I went home. Vince and Sean and the whole company just kind of moved on without me, and they didn't really worry about me. They had their new star, and my contract expired, and I knew I was free. And Owen had called me the day after WrestleMania when I lost the belt and told me that they'd come in with these new contracts where everyone had to re-sign new contracts, but it gave Vince even more control. And these contracts always were like 99 for them, 1 for you, and sign it or else. And really, if you come from like some of these small wrestling promotions and wrestling companies, going to WWE is the biggest break you're going to get, and you're going to make more money there. But they make you sign contracts that are so one-sided. They own your name, they own your likeness, they own everything. They own your kids, they own your house, and you got to sign it. So you sign it. And initially, when I first signed my contract, which was in 1984, was when I first signed mine. It's in the 90s now, and it's pretty dated. Like, it's pretty. I would say it was. Those contracts were so one-sided and inappropriately unfair for the management over the wrestlers. Like, they could fire you, they can use your name, they can use your likeness. They own everything that they like I said, they own everything but your kids and your. You don't have any choice. You sign them. And in my case, when my contract rolled over and I was free, I just remember sort of sitting back and waiting. Like, now I'm free I can negotiate if I want to. I wasn't planning on going to WCW, but I remember thinking I have leverage right now. For the first time in my whole life, I can actually go, well, maybe I'll go to the other guys. I remember going, I'll never go. I never worked for those guys. I don't want to work for them. But the leverage was everything. And I was in a good spot for leverage